Hello, I'm Peter Alsop, back again with more songs to chew. Thanks for stopping by. Today, we'll listen to two songs that are on my Uniforms album and on my Songs on Sex and Sexuality album. The first song is Look at the Ceiling. It's a powerful song I wrote 40 years ago about incest. It's written from the point of view of a young girl who dissociates in order to survive during her abuse. It's been widely used in treatment programs, in classes and training workshops, and in private practice with adults and teens alike. I follow it with Love is the Only Medicine, a song I wrote specifically to play after I perform Look at the Ceiling. Let's listen.
Look at the ceiling, the shadows are bears. I wonder what's on the TV. And Daddy's hands rub me all over. I wonder, do leaves in the creek find their way to the sea? Mom mashes potatoes and pours in the milk, silently smokes cigarettes. I wish she would hug me or look at me even. I'd trade my allowance for that. Billy plays tag with me all the way home after school. Boy, he's really a brat. But we didn't do nothing, and it's not fair for Dad to make him go home just like that. Look at the ceiling, the shadows are bears. In hurricanes, where do birds hide? And Daddy's hands rub me all over. I wonder where butterflies learn how to fly. The county fair once had a merry-go-round. I loved to watch Mom and Dad ride. We used to laugh and they used to hold hands, and neither of them used to cry. When the spider scared little Miss Muffet away, how did she know where to run? Oh, I'd love to sleep in the bathtub all night, wake up as clean as the sun. Look at the ceiling, the shadows are bears. Oh, why do bees die when they sting? And Daddy's hands rub me all over. I wonder, where do balloons go when you cut the string? When you hurt, you hide it away. You carry the pain where it rains every day. So deep inside, when no one can see. When someone hurt you, you don't trust nobody. You need love. It's the only medicine. Love makes you feel better, my friend. Hey, love, it's the only medicine. Love makes you feel better, my friend. We suffer abuse from someone we love. We stay even though we know push turns to shove. We hold on too long, sustain injury. We know we should go, but sometimes we don't see. We need love. It's the only medicine. Love makes you feel better, my friend. Hey, love, it's the only medicine. Love makes you feel better, my friend. the only medicine. Love makes you feel better, my friend. Yeah, love, it's the only medicine. Only love can heal you. Only love, love. Only love can heal you. If someone is mean, we know right away that one has a wound, yes, that one is in pain. That soul has a wall crushing the heart. They pass on the hurt and again it will start. They need love. It's the only medicine. Love makes you feel better, my friend. Hey, love, it's the only medicine. Love makes you feel better, my friend. Hey, love, it's the only medicine. Love, it makes you feel better, my friend. Hey, love, it's the only medicine. Love, it makes you feel better, my friend.
That was the marvelous Michelle Browerman playing piano with me on Look at the Ceiling and on Love is the Only Medicine, with Tim Boatman on drums, Peter Spellman on bass, and Fred Tackett, another old friend, the lead guitar player for Little Feat, played the entire trumpet section. Shelby Flint, Miriam Cutler, Peter Spellman, and John Campson sang the choruses with me. About 40 years ago, I did a fundraising concert in Santa Barbara, California, for a group of families and therapists that worked to keep families together after incest had occurred in the family. They called themselves PACT, P-A-C-T, which stands for Protecting and Caring Together. Incest leaves scars that we can't see. As with other sexual crimes in this country, victims often feel guilty about having been involved. Violations are often not reported, and there can be extensive emotional and psychological damage caused by the heavy social sanctions and taboos involved. Even the legal process aimed at rectifying the situation can be detrimental. It's usually older male, younger female incest. When authorities find out that this has happened, the perpetrator, usually the man in the house, often the dad, gets charged and may be convicted. Often families break up when this happens. And the system often traumatizes the young woman again because she is required to testify against the man who abused her, and she feels like she's responsible for the family's breakup. To avoid this, these kids often change their stories. They recant and say they lied and that nothing happened when in fact it did. The explosive pressure of a family splitting up after incest traumatizes all of the family members. So PACT successfully worked with many families, counseling them through family therapy and helping them learn how to set very solid boundaries with each other. Some incest survivors, upon hearing this song, have opened up old memories and let go of tremendous amounts of guilt and shame locked up long ago. They work at being gentle with and forgiving themselves. It's an ongoing struggle for many survivors to learn how to recover from their emotional trauma. It helps to have contact with others who have successfully survived and have learned healthy coping skills. With these kinds of tools, a family can learn to find solid ground to stand on so they can all begin to heal from the abuse. It's painful work to look closely at why and how incest happens in a family, but with support, honesty, and training, families can heal. After my workshop, they asked me if I'd write a song about incest. It's a crime that carries great social shame with it for the perpetrator, the victim or victims, and everyone else in the family. PACT wanted me to shine some light onto the subject, hoping that the more people know about it, the less hidden it will be. When people recognize what's going on, they can intervene sooner and stop this abuse in its tracks, rather than keeping it a secret. So I wrote Look at the Ceiling. I'm honored that therapists have used this song for years and years to gently get this subject out onto the table and break the ice for audiences and women's groups, because it seems to enable young women to more easily share their experiences, let go of the shame, and begin their healing. The first time I actually played it was at a college showcase somewhere in the Midwest for a room full of college students who were there to book entertainment for their schools. I sang the song, a cappella, no instruments, And when I finished, the entire room was dead silent. No one moved. And I thought, oh no, what do I play now? Well, rather than break into another song, I spoke quietly about the fact that 1 out of 3 young women in this country are sexually abused by the time they're 18, and 1 out of 5 little boys. I said that we ought to look out for each other and think about what each of us might do to help stop sexual abuse. I also promised myself to write another song I could play immediately after Look at the Ceiling. I didn't ever want to leave an audience in that deep, dark place again. I needed to write something that could bring everyone back up. So I wrote Love is the Only Medicine. When someone has a disability that's physical, it's often much easier to see than when someone has an emotional disability. Many of us remain in abusive relationships because we are too afraid to end them. Even though the situation may be unpleasant or abusive, we prefer something familiar to the unknown, because at least we know what to expect. Unfortunately, we sometimes find ourselves unable to unhook from an abusive relationship. Many of us never learned how to take care of ourselves in these kinds of situations. Our old buttons get pushed, and we only focus on our concern about someone else's feelings. This is how we end up emotionally injured and disabled and disempowered. Support and love are the most important types of psychomedical medicine available for these types of injuries. Love is needed to heal our emotional injuries, and we must also do the difficult work of giving up our medicators and feeling some of the painful feelings that we have been stuffing down. My friend and teacher, Sharon Wegscheider Cruz, points out how important it is to build a loving safety net of safe people to help support us through this difficult work. For years, people like Louise Hay and Bernie Siegel, Carl Simonton, and others have pointed out the important connection between our emotional state and our physical health. Feeling loved and cared for adds to our sense of wellness, which is essential to the maintenance of a healthy immune system. There's actually a wonderful video of me playing these 2 songs back to back at a conference on the healing power of laughter and play. You can look for them on my YouTube channel. That's enough chewing for now. I really appreciate you stopping by. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with your friends and follow it or subscribe to it if you would. I need a certain number of followers in order to monetize this podcast. Or if you'd like to support my music and other artistic endeavors, you can do that on my Patreon page below. I've got more than 100 episodes you can check out for free. I'm Peter Alsop. Hope to see you again next week. Thanks for stopping in. Bye for now.